Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a slight detour from the usual process where we were fleshing out the various scenes with Legend. I want to introduce to you the concept called FARTS. Now, FARTS is a mnemonic that I created to help us think through what are the different options that players can do in any and every scene. FARTS, of course, stands for fight, avoid, research, trick, and speak. Now, these are not the only options that players have, but more than likely, this is what they're going to be defaulting to. Of course, beyond these farts, they can do just about anything else that they can imagine. However, the power of farts is that we can use it to shape player actions, right? If we can think through, if my players are going to be fighting, or if they're going to be avoiding this encounter, if they're going to be doing research, what are the things that I need to do, right? That's one thing. Farts can also help us design the stuff that our players can interact with, which makes our scenes come alive. And finally, because we have these things down pat, because we have planned for these things in advance, it is going to be making our prep significantly easier. Because remember, we're trying to build out that library of Lego blocks that we will be deploying and assembling in runtime. What I want to do is, in the previous video, we had made a scene. We have fleshed it out with Legend, right? So now I'm going to be looking at, now that I have this scene, what would it look like if my players were doing farts? And how can I prep for that in advance, right? So this way of using farts is just thinking through stuff before it actually happens. All right. So I'm looking at the scene, right, where there is the creekside stall, and there's a wild magic surge, and there's some sentient vomit and diarrhea, right? Now, most players, right, so they're probably going to be fighting with the vomit and the diarrhea. I hope I got the spelling right. But there is also the witch doctor, right? And the stall owner. Now, for most of these, right, for the stall owner or for the other passerbys, I can just use a regular peasant or a commoner stat block. But for the witch doctor, I might probably want to come up with something else, right? Now, in this video, I'm not going to be showing you how to go pick out the relevant stat blocks. You can look at the systems reference document or access to any bestiary or monster manual that you may have. But the point is that, okay, this is what's actually there, and I need them to start, I should have these stat blocks in hand. Okay. I'm looking at this. We have Igada, flopping fish. All right, cool. So these are the different things. I'm probably going to be needing stat blocks for all of these. All right. Next thing is, hey, if my players choose to avoid this whole situation, if they are running away from this and, if they're not going to the river, they don't end up here itself, what can they do? Well, I can add in rumors about the epic thing that we had noticed. That's going to be coming in. Maybe Igada comes searching for the PCs. That's the cool thing about hooks, right? If you don't go to the hook, I can bring the hook to you. It's an important skill that you want to develop as a game master, right? And maybe sentient vomit pops up wherever they are, right? Wherever the PCs are, right? So that's a cool thing. Like, I can bring that encounter anywhere else as well. If they want to do research, they're like, oh, okay, so this happened. So then what could happen? Well, I can connect them to Kokila for, I'm going to call it biological magic. They might choose to go to the witches. They might choose to go to a hedge wizard, right? And then let's see. Oh, sorry, not hedge wizard. I think they're called marsh wizard. Marsh wizard, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, that's there. Who else might they might think that it's like some sort of a religious thing, right? So I should probably have a shrine, right? But I'm going to say that, hey, this place is a bit cosmopolitan, and they probably are just going to be taken to maybe not the bazaar, but maybe they're going to be taken to one of the, what do you call them? The Marsh Rangers, right? Yeah, to see, hey, have you seen anything like that? So I'm going to go back to that. And Marsh Rangers. Okay, so that's something. Now, trick. Trick means that they are going to try and bypass this encounter in some way or the other. There isn't any direct threat for them in this particular scene, So that's not much that they can do. However, they might say that they are deciding to, you know, loot the stalls, or they're casting illusions. Right. So right now I'm just making notes of what are the potential things that can happen. They can speak to Igada. They can speak to I think it was called Angi. Right. Those are the NPCs that we had, and Okesh perhaps. Right. These are the main ones that they have, and this is like the stuff that I'll need to prepare for. So now that I know that these are the different vectors, these are the different angles in which things can go, I can mentally prepare for, oh, okay, I should probably get like stat blocks ready for all of these, right? And I should probably create these rumors. And if they're going to be doing this, I need to have hooks for them to go and research. And again, like things like pieces of lore, maybe secrets that these NPCs can drop that's going to shed more light on this situation. As you can see, right, this does not match the flowchart that we had built out earlier, right? Because this is, we obviously planned for the whole thing to go as a movie, right? And then we plotted out the extra scenes as well. However, players being players, they're going to be exercising their agency. And when that happens, we need to be prepared. So what do? Well, we come up. We think through what could be the different options that they can take, which is FARTS. And then we use that to plan out different things. Well, that's about it. I'm going to be talking to you the next video about how we can go ahead and design interesting NPCs using Snapped. I'll see you in that video.